Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Sal back on the air. Finally gotten over my strep throat. Shout out to all the people who reached out to me. I appreciate the kind words. But I'm back, about 95% back for the most part, so my voice is back and excited to be back on to the podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, I've been wanting to talk about this Sean P. Diddy Combs coonery buck-breaking video between him and Ray Dalio, which is incredibly hard to watch. I mean, you know, you're literally watching a man who's worth $200 million. He is the 1% of 1% of our community having his ass spread wide and plowed by Ray Dalio. And you're going to learn why black celebrities go through this. You guys know what I got to do. I got to pay some bills right now. So hang tight. Don't move a muscle. I'll be right back after these short messages.
My family! He's got a gun!
Someone's breaking into your home. What do you do? Call 911? It takes the police an average of 35 minutes to respond to a 911 call. In that time, a burglar could have his way with your wife, smoke a cigarette, flip her over, and go in for seconds. Don't let the worst happen to you. It is vital that you protect yourself. Do it the patriotic way.
That's right. Ammunition has all the equipment you need to protect your family from the evils of a liberal society. Fixed, mounted, and shoulder-held submachine guns, mortars, surface-to-air and all manner of heat-seeking missiles, and just in to celebrate the Gulf War, pink and blue tracer bullets so you can protect your family in the dark. Start the week off right on Make My Day Mondays with 2-for-1 on main, strafe, and kill landmines. Got Gulf War syndrome? Get $10 off all machine gun rentals. Hey, if you love your family, prove it with a gun. Ammunition, protecting your right.
For years, I ran and ran and ran. I struggled for years with bad credit, bouncing from different prepaid cards just to avoid collections and judgments that were ruining my life. My low credit score got me denied jobs in government and any job having to do with money. Things got so bad, I was denied an apartment and even an iPhone. I knew I had to take some bold action. I decided I was going to fight back. I learned about federal laws people like me can use to dispute illegal and inaccurate accounts and get judgments removed. I created powerful credit dispute letters that challenged everything, and I wasn't afraid to take a creditor to court if I had to. It took time for things to get better, but I was able to raise my score over 400 points, and I'm here to tell you that you can do it too. Get my powerful credit dispute letters at fightyourscore.com. That's fightyourscore.com, so you too can stop running.
Listen, I want to have a serious conversation with you. Are you really winning at the stock market? Are you really growing your account month after month? If not, if you're tired of starting over year after year with the same dreams of being successful, I'm begging you, I'm asking you to make a change right now. To learn a trading strategy that takes advantage of our historically low volatility and makes money if the market goes up, down, or sideways. Learn a winning trading strategy at MillionaireTradingAcademy.com. MillionaireTradingAcademy.com. Get there right now.
Black Box Stocks is an automated trading system that delivers real-time market alerts using a proprietary algorithm. Our system is composed of high-speed servers monitoring over 13,000 NASDAQ, NYSE, AMEX, and OTC stocks at the same time, analyzing each tick multiple times per second. This award-winning system levels the playing field by offering you technology that has too often been reserved for large financial firms, hedge funds, and the Wall Street elite. And when it comes to the results, let's just say that they are really, really good. Don't wait any longer. Visit blackboxtrader.org to start generating big gains right now.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Sal. I am back in the building. Thank you for hanging in there. Hope you enjoyed those ads. Make sure you take advantage of my trading course, MillionaireTradingAcademy.com. But first and foremost, I want to jump straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't seen that Diddy Ray Dalio conversation, I need you to stop the video and go watch it. Now, if you've already seen it, here are my comments on that video, which is nothing more than a buck-breaking situation. I mean, this is incredibly disturbing to watch. We are seeing one of the wealthiest men in Black America having his asshole plowed. I'm going to say it again. I know I've said it one time. Having his asshole plowed by someone who's basically a nobody outside of the realm of business finance. You know, nobody knows who the fuck Ray Dalio is. All right. Let's get it really clear. Nobody knows who Ray Dalio is. If you go outside on the street right now, you ask 100 people, who is Ray Dalio? Maybe 10 may know who that is. If I were to ask 100 people who is P. Diddy or Sean Puffy Combs, I would say maybe 60 out of 100 people would know who that man is. So this conversation to me is very interesting because I'm thinking about what exactly is Sean Combs thinking that he is going to get out of this. And here's my opinion. There are people that Ray Dalio knows as a billionaire hedge fund manager that Diddy would like to have access to, that he does not have access to right now. And that in meeting Ray Dalio, he gets co-signed to meet with these other people. And this is a very sad, predictable, and unfortunate belief because it just continues to go and perpetuate this idea that as Black people, we need to be co-signed in order to make things happen. But I'm going to get into that a little bit later. When this whole situation starts, the whole conversation, we see Dalio pulling up into Diddy's home, quote unquote home. This is probably just an Airbnb they rented out. Y'all know how fake media can be sometimes, right? And they introduce themselves to each other. Again, we get the opinion that these people really don't know each other, right? I was really disturbed by the first thing coming out of Sean Diddy Combs' mouth, calling Ray Dalio brother. You know, brother is a very strong term. And as Black men, we don't call each other, you don't just call anybody brother. You know, it's a term of endearment. You may use it in certain situations where you may, you know, be unfamiliar with. Maybe you're in a different neighborhood, you don't really know, but you're just trying to show, hey, I'm coming from a peaceful point of view. Or it's somebody who may be slightly older than you that you're trying to show some endearment towards. But Diddy is using this to a man who, for all intents and purposes, you know, this man is not your brother. This man is not your brother. He has done nothing for you. He has done nothing for you, for the culture, to earn that title. But let's put that aside. Diddy is a man who's worth about $200 to $300 million. We know that he owns the Sean John clothing line. He owns Iniche. He's got some interest in Revolt, which seems to be very passive interest, right? He also has a small stake. I don't think he may even actually have it anymore in the JayZ or however you pronounce it. Anyway, that liquor that he was promoting to our community that he made quite a bit of money off of. Come to find out, it was actually a cap deal at $100 million. And for what they gave him, I thought he could have asked for a lot more. And probably in his mind, if he could go back in time, he would have asked for a lot more as well. But at the end of the day, it was a very, very small piece of a very large business. And for what he's done for that company, he's basically 10x, 200x their value. And he walked away from that deal with not as much money as he should have got. Those of you guys who understand business, you know what Diddy did for that liquor. He took literally a cheap $7 bottle of liquor that was in the clearance aisle. I mean, I remember, 04, 05, they used to give, this used to be on the floor. That's how low budget it was. And he turned it into a luxury brand. Fast forward now to 2019, and we see Diddy is a man who really is running out of time. He is someone who is not relevant in today's entertainment industry for the most part. He doesn't have a vehicle, and he is desperately seeking a vehicle to make him relevant. And I honestly believe that this meeting with Ray Dalio is a way that he believes will open him up to the boardrooms of Wall Street to make a big deal happen for him. See, he tried to buy the Carolina Panthers a couple months ago and it didn't work. Him, Usher, supposedly broke ass Oprah was involved. Her fat ass, she's not a billionaire at any mention. All right, I don't care what anybody says. Oprah's big ass is not a billionaire. All right, billionaires don't sell pizza. All right, unless pizza made them billionaires. But I've never heard of somebody who made $1 billion in one industry having to turn around and sell pizza. This is just hilarious to me that we have been bamboozled to believe that this woman for the last 20 years has been a billionaire. There have been so many things out here happening and she hasn't been able to do anything. But yeah, she's out here running around doing this and doing that. She doesn't move like a billionaire. But I digress. Diddy is strapped for cash. And it's so sad to see him on his knees having to suck Ray Dalio's dick when we have a legacy. African Americans have a legacy of being able to get it out of the mud and doing it themselves. We have an incredible person in Tyler Perry who's created out of nothing a $600 million empire. Let me get it in. $600 million empire. We've got the Don Bardens of the world. Somebody Google that. Don Barden. If you don't know who that is, you need to read about this man. This man, D-O-N, Barden, B-A-R-D-E-N. This brother was buying cable companies. First black man to own a casino. 3 of them in Las Vegas, Fitzgerald's. This brother was all over America doing incredibly big things, pulling in over $400 million a year in revenue, doing absolutely incredible things. We can never get a mastermind like that. We can never get JayZ and somebody like that sitting in front together talking about business and then us watching. We always have to get somebody from the dominant society looking down at one of our celebrities trying to quote unquote break game to them. And again, I'm not trying to sound angry. I'm just trying to show you why and how this is incredibly intentional. Because finance in itself has always been a very racist establishment, right? It's always been hey, you guys can't manage money, that's why you're poor. You people are lazy, that's why you're poor. You people make poor decisions, that's why you're poor. Finance has always never been about also addressing the legacy that created the poverty, particularly when you're talking about black money. So when we look at where finance is today, we see a landscape where they basically ignore the idea of black traders, right? That's why when you watch CNBC or Bloomberg, you don't see any black people. And when you do, it's like, oh my God, there's a black person at the desk, right? So it's a completely, hey, we don't even see you. You don't exist to us. And that's how they treat you, excuse me, That's how they treat you when you know, as a YouTuber, when you start posting videos, or whether or not sometimes if those of you who've gone to some of these, excuse me, still getting over my cold here. If you've gone to some of these seminars, it's almost like, whoa, you're black. What are you doing here? Right? So that's why it's so important for us to get there our way, right? To be able to build into where we want to be in a way that we own and control from the bottom up. It's so important for us not to be seen, you know, having to have these deals where it's like, okay, you get 10% and then I put up the 90, you be the face of it, you know, big dancing Negro, and then you can claim that you own it, but you don't really own it. You actually only own 1/2 of 1%, a la JayZ deal. All right. Speaking of the JayZ situation, this is exactly how it went down. It's the same playbook. JayZ, Warren Buffett. Go back and watch that video. I had never seen JayZ in a suit before he sat down with Warren Buffett. That was the first time I ever seen JayZ in a suit. And it's incredibly embarrassing now, 11 years later, to see a man of JayZ's generation, again, sitting at a desk, right? Sitting at a chair next to another incredibly wealthy billionaire investor, hoping to get a couple crumbs off his plate, hoping to leverage his network. I mean, it's like we never learned. A couple years later, after meeting Warren Buffett, JayZ gets the New York Nets deal, where he basically convinces a poor section of Brooklyn that this team is going to create all kind of jobs. It barely created any jobs at all. They gentrified an entire community. This man was walking around like, yeah, I own part of the team. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He didn't own shit, we found out later. They gave him 1/2 of 1% of the team. He basically walked away with a couple $1 million. The fleecing of black capitalism. Right? This is your black celebrity. This is your black celebrity. So I'm in this video just wanting to waking you up to what is really taking place here. This is the buck breaking of black celebrity. This is what happens when you have black celebrity who are mistrustful of black society, mistrustful of the black community in general, to be able to continue to foster their own dreams. And they're saying, you know what, fuck y'all. I'm gonna get up on this Wall Street money. You ain't gonna do nothing about it. You're still gonna be there because I'm gonna be able to use this capital to create a new idea, a new story, a new storyline that you're gonna believe, right? Because you know we got these strivers within our community who are like, oh no, man, he getting to a check, man. He getting to this money, man. To fleece us, to make us believe that he's actually part of the big picture. And he's nothing. He's nothing. He's minuscule because he doesn't own anything. The conversation has to change. It's got to be about ownership. And if I can't own it outright, then fuck it. I don't want it. That's the conversation. If you can't own it outright, I don't want it. Because if I can't own it, that means I'm a slave to it. That's it. A 10% owner is not an owner as a black person in this country. We've got to know that. And what we have to do is we have to sit down with the people who made it in the time that they're alive. I can't find any conversations with Don Barden that we can really learn from. This brother was alive for 60, 70, 80 years. 67 years. We don't have no real game from him. We've got the peoples of the world. Brothers out here who are doing incredible things, hundreds of millions of dollars, and we don't have any real gain from them. Yet we have to sit down and watch Diddy. And by the way, when you watch that video, look at how they're seated. Ray Dalio seated above Sean Combs as if he is more enlightened than Diddy. Diddy, brother, you are the one whose come up is greater. I mean, do you know how hard it is to make $1 million in this country as a black man? Let alone a couple $100 million? That's an incredible story. You need to be doing these master classes in front of 1,000 black men. Fuck sitting with Ray Dalio. And this thing looks like it was put together in the last 2 days or so, because I mean, you know, the brother seems scattered. The questions, like, I don't know if he really read the book or not. His mind just doesn't seem all the way there. He has a very poor ability of expressing himself, which is weird because I typically see Diddy really being able to say what he wants to say. So watching him in this video was a bit disturbing. But if you read the comments, oh man, they're just loving it up. Oh man, folks in the dominant society, they're just loving the comments. I mean, in the comments, oh my God, it's so good to see Diddy so humble and listening. Oh, you know, they love seeing us being, you know, acting like children. You know, they love listening, watching us act like children to people in the dominant society. I mean, this is a grown man, damn near 55, 53 years old, 51 years old, whatever how old he is. Acting like a little child, and people in the comments are loving every moment of it. And it doesn't even have to be that way. That's what's sad about it. That's what's sad about it. This is 2020 now. You know what I mean? If you can't own it outright, then I don't want it. That's the mentality we gotta have. That Tyler Perry mentality. It's your boy Sal. I'm going to get off this damn podcast before I kill myself and bring this cold back. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know how you feel about this in the comments. Until next time, take care.